The story begins in ancient Goryeo, where Shin, a celebrated general, leads his army to victory in a snow-covered battlefield. His unmatched skill and loyalty make him a hero, but his fame stirs jealousy in King Wang-yo, a young ruler easily influenced by his manipulative advisor, Park Jung-hyun. Despite his devotion, the paranoid king orders his execution. Betrayed by his kingdom, Shin is struck down by arrows, with his sister, the queen, powerless to save him. Instead of death, Shin is cursed by the gods for the bloodshed he caused. He becomes an immortal goblin, doomed to carry a sword embedded in his chest. His eternal punishment can only end when the prophesied goblin's bride removes the sword, releasing him from his suffering. The Grim Reaper is a calm and mysterious figure with a quiet sense of authority. He guides souls to the afterlife with care and precision. Though he seems emotionless, his presence hints at a hidden story. In this scene, the woman is caught in a moment of confusion after dying in a car accident. She's unaware of her own death, and the Grim Reaper approaches her to gently inform her of the truth. Instead of fear or anger, the Grim Reaper offers compassion, guiding her through this difficult moment. The transition is further softened in the dimly lit tea room, where he offers her tea to help erase the painful memories of her life. As she drinks, she slowly lets go of her fear. Shin walks through the modern world, untouched by time. The busy streets move around him, but he remains distant and unchanged. A speeding car swerves into view and abruptly stops. The driver, cold and ruthless, tosses the pregnant woman's lifeless body out onto the road. The car speeds away into the night, leaving her crumpled form in the shadows. His presence is like a flash of light. He kneels beside her, his eyes filled with sorrow. With a touch of his hand, a glowing warmth envelops her, reviving her just in time. Ji-eun-tak looks up, locking eyes with Shin across the street. Time slows for a brief moment as they share an unspoken connection before the world moves on. Ji-eun-tak stands in the street, eyes closed, silently summoning Shin. The wind swirls, and in an instant, he appears before her. They lock eyes, and she stands firm, knowing she is the bride he's been searching for. Shin and the Grim Reaper sit in quiet companionship, both burdened by their roles. The air between them is thick with unspoken understanding. Kim-sun is Ji-eun-tak's caring and upbeat boss, always kind to those around her. The Grim Reaper is attracted to Kim-sun's warmth and starts developing feelings for her, though she doesn't realize it. Kim-sun sees a vision of her past life as a queen. Trembling, she realizes she is the queen reincarnate. The Grim Reaper watches in stunned silence as fragments of his past return, his cold command as the Emperor, the betrayal that led to the Queen's death. Guilt and sorrow wash over him as he locks eyes with Kim-sun, the weight of their intertwined fates sinking in. Ji-eun-tak brings light and laughter into Shin's life, countering his centuries of solitude and sorrow. Her sincerity and resilience draw him closer, and he finds himself cherishing her presence. Park Jung-won, a vengeful spirit, seeks to possess Ji-eun-tak's soul to harness her power as the goblin's bride, disrupting the balance of life and death for his own twisted gain. Park Jung-won advances toward Ji-eun-tak, but Shin appears, shielding her. With Shin and Park Jung-won's encounter is a fierce battle between light and darkness. Park Jung-won, a vengeful spirit, mocks Shin, exploiting his past regrets. Shin, unwavering and determined, draws his sword to protect Ji-eun-tak and the evil. With a loud, determined cry, Shin pulls the sword from his chest. The blade shines with a brilliant light, radiating divine power. Ji-eun-tak watches, amazed and overwhelmed, as Shin charges at Park Jung-won. Shin battles Park Jung-won, dodging dark energy and striking with his glowing sword. After an intense clash, he delivers a powerful blow, banishing the vengeful spirit. Shin falls. Ji-eun-tak rushes to him, tearfully calling his name. He doesn't respond. She realizes he's gone. Shin, dressed in his ancient warrior attire, appears before Ji-eun-tak, but she doesn't recognize him. She looks right past him, unaware of the man who once protected her. His sharp eyes soften as he watches her. Realizing that she doesn't see the warrior he once was, but just an unfamiliar figure. He stands tall, his presence undeniable, but as he looks around at the familiar faces, no one acknowledges him. Ji-eun-tak stands still, her eyes wide as flashes of memories rush back, Shin, their past, their love. Tears fall as she clutches her chest, overwhelmed by the flood of emotions. She whispers his name, fully remembering everything, her heart aching with the realization of their bond. Eun-tak, tears in her eyes, whispers, "I love you, Kim-shin," as her memories return. In the next moment, they stand at their wedding, exchanging vows, their love eternal. The rain pours as Eun-tak drives, her face tense, unaware of the car speeding toward her. Suddenly, there's a loud crash, and the world around her spins. The car flips, glass shattering and metal twisting. Everything goes dark as the car comes to a stop, smoke rising from the wreckage. Grim Reaper appears, his presence heavy and cold. He stands at the wreckage, his eyes scanning Eun-tak's lifeless body. Eun-tak stands in shock, staring at her lifeless body, tears streaming down her face. Grim Reaper appears beside her, his presence calm and gentle. Eun-tak looks at him, her heart filled with sorrow and confusion. She trembles as she realizes the truth of his words. Grim Reaper hands Eun-tak the tea. She drinks, her memories fading as peace settles over her. Kim-shin enters the room, his gaze immediately landing on Eun-tak's lifeless form. His face falls, pain flooding his eyes as he steps closer, reaching out but not touching her. A single tear escapes, the weight of the moment overwhelming him. The room feels suffocating, as if the air itself is heavy with the weight of his sorrow. After Eun-tak's death, Kim-shin is consumed by an intense, unrelenting sorrow. The void she left in his life feels impossible to fill. For centuries, he lived alone, burdened by immortality, but she brought light and warmth back into his world. Now, without her, everything feels hollow. Kim-shin is trapped in a sea of grief, unable to move forward. The love he had for Eun-tak becomes a painful memory. Kim-shin sees Grim Reaper and Kim-sun together, now reincarnated as ordinary humans. They have no memory of their past lives as a king and queen. Eun-tak remembers Kim-shin. As their eyes meet, all the memories flood back. She recognizes him, and they share a tender, emotional moment. Kim-shin embraces her, and they are finally reunited, their love restored after all the years and hardships. Kim-shin, overwhelmed with emotion, watches as her eyes soften with recognition. The moment is filled with tears and quiet understanding. Eun-tak smiles, a soft but knowing smile, as she reaches out to him, confirming that she remembers. The scene is filled with a sense of closure, a deep, emotional reunion that signifies the end of their struggles and the start of a new life together.